Hey guys, welcome to our channel, Anna and Mandy Vakili. You've just got me here today. I thought I would do a quick video just kind of addressing the crazy backlash that I'm getting on TikTok and YouTube about rekindling my relationship with my partner, who we nicknamed Cowslick, on the podcast. I just thought I would do it on here because I feel like it's not fair to do it on the podcast and keep repeating myself, because I'm sure a lot of the things I'm going to say is probably a repeat of things that I've said in the past when me and him have got back together. I think mainly the people that are making these horrible videos and comments aren't actually people that watch the podcast. I think it's just people that see clips on TikTok and are judging the situation from clips. Obviously, there are some people that watch the normal YouTube podcast episodes and also judge, but the people that are making them really mean comments and videos, I don't actually think they're people that even watch the podcast and they don't even know the full story, let alone the people that actually watch the podcast, which still don't even have the full story but have more of a bigger picture of the situation. But yeah, I just think it's not fair for me to sit on the podcast and keep talking about it or talk about it, because a lot of the people that are there, it's not even targeted to them, you know, and they probably just want a light-hearted, fun podcast episode. So that's why I thought I would do this video, a quick one, just to address some of the things that I've heard about. So personally, I've stayed off TikTok, so I've not seen any of the hate videos or comments on TikTok. I've seen some of the comments on YouTube. The reason why I know I've got such a big backlash going on TikTok is because I've had so many messages from friends that are like, just reaching out to see if you're okay, seeing what's going on TikTok. I hope you're okay. Me and Mandy, if you don't know, have a platform called Patreon where we do an extra episode of the podcast every single week. And those episodes are a little bit more personal. And we have a group chat on Patreon where we're called besties. We all talk in there. And I've seen some of the besties have said, oh my God, can't believe the hate that Anna's getting on TikTok. Wow, so much hate, so much hate. So I know that it's really bad. From the few comments that I've seen on YouTube, I'm not gonna lie, they kind of shocked me. And that's why I wanted to do this video, because like, I'm absolutely fine with people having their negative opinion on me going back with Cowslick. I'm just gonna call him Cowslick because that's what I call him on the podcast and that's what most people are used to. So if you have a negative opinion on me going back to Cowslick, if you think that the things that he's done is so unforgivable, you know, and that you don't believe in relationships working after a few times of not working or breaking up like 4 times, that's fine. Like, you're entitled to your opinion. If you think I'm stupid for going back to him, that's fine. But like, when you are spewing hate and trying to put like people off us, or trying to, you know, spread false information, or just being mean, being a troll, being a bully online, trying to like make videos talking about the situation when you don't even watch the podcast, that's the people that I have a problem with. And that's why I'm making this video. Obviously, you guys know that me and Mandy's podcast is set in a way where we started off just sharing our life and the ups and the downs, and we didn't want to portray this perfect image. I mean, there's so many couples on Instagram, on YouTube that, you know, seem like the perfect couple, the perfect relationship, and you don't really know what's going on behind closed doors. Whereas with me and Mandy, we've kind of always shown the bad, you know, as well as the good. Maybe the bad more than the good, because we came and vented on our podcast and we felt this relationship with our viewers, especially the besties on Patreon, where we kind of felt close to share these things, and the podcast grew in that way where people felt like they could relate. We were just being real. So me and Mandy have always, from the beginning, ever since I got out of Love Island, been very real. I can't fake things. I can't be fake. So I do think, in a way, I brought this on myself, because it's almost like your friend that has a boyfriend, they argue, and then they come and they tell you all these horrible things that their boyfriend has done in the argument and how much they hate him. And they're like, my boyfriend's such a dickhead. He did this and I hate him. He's hurt me. And they're crying to their friend. And then they end up fixing things with their boyfriend. And then their friends just hate that boyfriend. It's almost like that, where you guys hear all these bad things that I've said, or I've come onto the podcast crying and you just almost hate him for hurting me. And then when I go back to him, you're like, why are you going back to me? He hurt you so much, which I think is completely understandable that you feel like that. It's a natural, especially if like the people that listen to me and care about me, they're almost protective over me and they just don't want to see me get hurt again. But I am a 35-year-old woman. I have fought long and hard about this. So the last time we stopped talking, it's not a breakup, but it's almost like a breakup, because you know when he came back in the summer, it was like a couple of months where we were talking, we were like acting like we were in a relationship, but I still had like my walls up and I was like, I don't know if I can give you another chance. I don't know if you guys follow the whole story, but we were in Cyprus. I got really sick. He was looking after me while I was sick. He sat by my side the whole like 5 days I was in hospital. He was being amazing, but I still had my walls up. I was like, I don't know if I want to give you another chance, sort of thing. I flew back to London. He was still in Cyprus, and I just basically said to him, like, I can't give you another chance, because I was so sensitive at that point. The breakups before hurt me, and I just felt like I couldn't get over that. So I was like, you know, I'm not going to give you another chance. Went away from that whole relationship. Obviously, he tried, guys. The thing is, this is one of the things I want to talk about. I see a lot of comments of people saying, like, if a man really loves you, he won't let you go. If a man really loves you, he won't give up. He'll try. Like, the guy did try. He tries. He messaged my mum numerous times, called her numerous times, called Mandy, messaged her. I was like shouting at my mum and Mandy, don't reply, archive his chats. I wasn't picking up his calls. So with him, he's the kind of guy, like, he won't chase endlessly for weeks and months. He's not that kind of guy that will call from private number. He's just not that person. But the thing is, like, I kind of realized myself, I always correlated like chasing and fighting for someone and not giving up to love. Because growing up, I was in a lot of relationships where the man would sleep outside my front door, get 10 new numbers just so that they can message me, and I'd block each one and they'd make a new number to message me. I was used to that. But those guys that were doing those things, I'm actually not going to go into it, but they weren't good men, right? I don't think just because you chase someone endlessly, that means that you love them. I do think, like, with me and Kauzik, it was very much a clash of personalities, in the sense that I have a anxious attachment style and he has an avoidant attachment style. So when I was telling him, like, I want to end things with you because of this, this and this, he almost took offense to me saying it's over. I can only compare it to this. Imagine me, right? And a man saying to me, Anna, I don't want to be with you anymore. It's not working because you've done this, this and this. I would be like really hurt. Like, how dare you break up with me? That's the way that Kauzik reacted when I break up with him. It was more like he didn't understand that I was saying it's over because this, this and this. He just saw it like, wow, she's ending it with me. Or like this summer, like, wow, she's leaving me, even though like I was there for her and I was trying my best this summer to show that I've changed, blah, blah. She's leaving me. And look, the things that I have left him about in the past, I believe personally are things that could have been worked on. And I do think that we could have fixed these things if I just like maybe was a bit more patient and worked on them, rather than just be like, it's over. I'm not blaming myself at all. I still stand by those things that he did. Like, he's made mistakes. I've made mistakes. He's not perfect. I think I was trying to make him this perfect man, which I think I was wrong, because I genuinely don't believe perfect exists. And the last year especially, I've kind of opened my eyes more than ever before. Like, I think obviously been going through life kind of just seeing things but not taking them in. But obviously with what I've been through the last year, this on and off relationship, I kind of like really opened my eyes and looked around me and looked at other relationships and looked at other people, and I've seen and I'm thought, perfect doesn't exist. And these things that I've left, like the person that I love more than anything for, aren't things that I think are unforgivable things. We both love each other so much. So why can't we work on it rather than just give up on it? For me, there's certain things that are unforgivable, like cheating. Like, that's it. I'm not forgiving you. It's done. It's over. Finito. The things that me and Kauzik had problems on aren't things that I think were unforgivable. And it's not like I'm this perfect person and I've never made mistakes. Like, I've never shouted. I've never sworn at him. I've changed a lot. I think he's changed a lot. We love each other so much. Why can't we work on it? If you've found the perfect relationship, man or woman, that is an angel that's never hurt you and it's smooth sailing, then I'm very happy for you. But from what I've seen, and most relationships, it does take work and it does take being patient and working through things. I don't think most relationships are going to have a smooth journey. And I also think that sometimes when you work at relationships and, you know, you fight for them, you learn to communicate better, you go through your ups and downs, you can become more smooth, if that makes sense. Look at Mandy and Gingerbread. They had a rough first few years. They didn't give up on each other. They communicated well. And now look at them, touch wood. But I feel bad because he's not had a chance to, you know, say his side. And every time when I'm coming on the podcast after the breakup, because I'm so hurt and angry and upset, all I'm doing is obviously saying my side. But he has a side as well. Not that I think it's as strong as my side, stand by it. But that's why when we just got back together, I was so scared of seeing like his family and his mum and his dad and brothers, because just the way that like a lot of people that, you know, listen to the podcast or care about me, they feel the same as you guys do about me. They probably didn't want him to get back with me because they're like, she's hurt you so much, because he has been so hurt, just like I have. So just always remember there's two sides to every story. I'm not going back on the things that I said. I do believe like a lot of the points that I had and the reasons why we broke up were valid, but I also think that they could have been worked on. And I think that now, sounds crazy, but like we realized how much we love each other and how much we want to make this work, and that communication is key, and we need to communicate better, understand each other and work through things together rather than just give up or be reactive. Like I'm such a reactive person. My friends know this. It could be something not that big, but I will make it the biggest thing and like block them. And, you know, like I'm that kind of person, which I've learned as well to not be so reactive and sit on my feelings and emotions, you know, communicate them in a calmer manner and not just like straight away be like, it's over. You can't do that in a serious relationship. You can't straight away be like, it's over. Speak about them, talk about them. I do believe that in the past I have tried that as well. And maybe there were points in our relationship where he took advantage. Yeah, he definitely probably had times where he thought she's not going to leave anyway and he wasn't taking me seriously. He was wrong for that. And I think he realizes that now. Sometimes, some relationships, not those perfect relationships like you guys have. I'm talking to the mean trolls. But some relationships, you do need to kind of have a wake-up call. And sometimes you need to have a few wake-up calls. But I truly trust and believe him now that he also wants to listen to any concerns that I may have in the relationship in the future. Because I don't believe that now we're going to live happily ever after and we're never going to have an argument again. Like I said, our relationship's probably not perfect like your relationship. We're going to have problems. We're going to have arguments. It's about how we deal with them. And I think now we both learned, and he's learned, to deal with them properly and better. Okay. Another thing that I've seen a lot of comments on, even in Patreon and YouTube, is that he calculated us getting back together before All Stars. He does this every time before All Stars. This is the most annoying comment ever because it's just such bullshit. Guys, if you knew Kausnick, you'd know he wasn't meant to be in this generation. He should have been in the 1950s or something, because he is so old-fashioned and old school. He doesn't have Instagram. He doesn't have Snapchat. He has no social media. He's so out of the loop with all of these things. He doesn't know any influencers. He's never watched Love Island. He doesn't even know how to use Instagram. Sometimes when I show him something on my Instagram stories, he doesn't even know how to use Instagram. You think he knows when Love Island All Stars is going to be on, or he's calculating things so that like I don't go on Love Island All Stars? Firstly, he doesn't even know. Secondly, he knows I would not go on to Love Island All Stars. I've got messages with the producers like way before me and Kausnick got back together, telling them I'm not going on. I even told my manager like months ago, tell the producers to not even waste their time because there's just no way I'm going on. He knows me. We've been together for 4+ years. He knows that I'm not going on, especially this time round. Yes, in the past, like I may have had times where I was like considering it, but ultimately I came to the decision myself that I don't want to go on. Even if you paid me so much, I wouldn't go on. Like I've turned down, guys, probably over £100,000 worth on different dating shows that I've been asked to go on if I add them all up together. It just doesn't align with what I want. in my life right now. I'm 35 years old. I'm going to be 36 next year. Oh, this year. And if I was going to be going on to Love Island All Stars, I'd be going on for the wrong reasons. I don't want that. I want something that aligns with what I want in my life right now. I don't want to do things for money or clout. That's actually taking me on to another thing that I've seen comments about. That me doing this whole back and forth with Kalzik is for clout, and I'm doing this for, subscribers and shit like that. If anything, it's quite the opposite, because the amount of backlash that I get and the amount of people that are like making videos saying, don't watch Anna and Mandy. I was dreading that announcement. Like dreading it. I didn't want to. You think I want to come on there and say, me and him are back together, and you think I want this horrible comments? People that know me and the people that probably listen to the podcast a lot know how sensitive I am. When I first made the announcement the first week, I was crying almost every day because I knew what was going on TikTok, and I seen some of the comments on YouTube. I was crying. I'm very sensitive. I wish I wasn't. Mandy was like, Anna, pretend that it doesn't bother you. Act like it doesn't bother you. People won't comment. I can't. I'm so sensitive. It does bother me, and I didn't want to make the announcement. I wanted to actually keep it private for a few months, but like I said, the way that the podcast has been, it's always been real. I want to continue keeping it real. Like in the future, I want to be able to go on and say the good stuff, say the bad stuff, just talk about my life openly like I have been. So yeah, it's definitely not for subscribers or anything like that, because if anything, if I wanted, I could have made the announcement on Patreon and we would have got a surge in subscribers. I've always stood by the fact that like mental health and peace is way more important than money. I've never been driven by money. Believe me, if I was driven by money, I wouldn't make a lot of the choices that I made in my life. So that's another rumor that really annoys me. Things as well that people have wrote, like people spread shit like he never cared about your birthdays. What? I mean, I don't understand like where you guys got that from. Even this summer when we weren't even together and he was just trying to get me back, my birthday, he wrote me like the most beautiful message. He got me, diamond earrings. He tried to make me feel special, even though I was in Miami partying it up. He was trying to make me feel special, and we weren't even together. The year before that, when we were together, the last birthday I had with him, us being a couple, I walked into our hotel room in Mykonos with like the ceiling covered in balloons and a cake and happy birthday and flowers, and I was so surprised. He has done amazing things for me as well. Like, don't just because the last story you heard was like Valentine's Day and he wrote my message on a piece of card. With that, like Valentine's Day, I had a bouquet of roses. He took me to like the top restaurant in London. But yes, I was really upset that he wrote my message on a piece of card rather than a card, like a nice card. It was like a piece of card. Yes, I was upset about it and I was moaning about it on my podcast. Yeah, I think I deserve more than that. I deserve better. I deserve it on a nice Valentine's Day card. But like, sometimes not all men are like, have that romantic streak in them. It takes, like, you need to express yourself more and like kind of tell them like, this is what I want. Not every man is that man that does trails of roses. Like, and he has done it in the past, but like, he can't be that guy every single time. I think it's just not unforgivable. Like, I genuinely don't think it's unforgivable. When I told my older aunties that he wrote my message on a piece of card and they're like, but I was like, he did get me flowers. He did take me to a nice restaurant. They're like, well, look, I think the older generation know more. You can't find the perfect person. I just don't think that like me trying to make him the perfect person was realistic. I had this like, is that the word, niggling? I don't know if that's the word. I had this gut feeling, yeah. It wasn't right, us being over. And as much as I was putting on a front on the podcast in front of people, there was this gut feeling that I had. I made the wrong decision. I made the wrong choice. And I actually do have such a big ego as well. I didn't want to admit that I might have made a mistake. I didn't want to say it. Even now, I'm like, I might have made a mistake. I have such an ego. I didn't want to admit it. It took a lot for me to admit it. So yeah, look, I don't take back that he hurt me. He did hurt me, but I've also hurt him. You just don't see him. You don't see his suffering. You don't see his side of things. You don't see him getting messages from people like, your ex is partying in Dubai non-stop 2 weeks after you guys broken up. There's also things on his side that you all don't see. And if you saw, maybe you'd be judging me and telling him. So there's two sides to every story. Please just try and remember that. And you guys are seeing like, either 1 hour or 2 hours a week of me talking about things. And some of the episodes as well were pre-recorded. Like I said, I think I've said like I said a few times in this. I think the main thing is here that I don't believe the things that happened in my relationship were unforgivable. I don't think that they were big enough to like not give it another chance. And I am happy and at peace now in my soul with my decision. I don't know what the future holds. I genuinely hope and pray that we make it all the way, and I believe we will, but you never know what the future holds. And we're just going to try our best, fight for the relationship and work at it the best we can to make it work, because we love each other so much. And people out there that are wishing bad on my relationship or saying, oh, just give it a few more months and it's going to be over, or can't wait for the announcement of her saying it's, you know, they're breaking up again. I think that's just horrible and mean to wish bad things on other people. All that matters really is like me, him, the true supporters and listeners of the podcast, those people that have like listen and care, and they give their opinion in a way where it's not rude or mean and they're not calling me names. Those people matter to me, and my friends and family, and Cowslick's friends and family, they all matter to me. These other people that are being horrible and trolling me, they can go fuck themselves. The fact that my friends and family are happy about me being back with Cowslick, I think says a lot, because they want the best for me, and I think they know that he's a good man, family man, and he loves me, and he's done a lot of good for me as well. Like when I went for my surgery for my boobs, like guys, the way he looked after me, I think that was like 2 years ago. He came with me to Turkey, washed me, looked after me. When my mum sold her place and she was waiting for a new place, Cowslick let my mum live with us for like 5 months. Within the first few months of me moving in with him, like these are all such amazing traits. He's always been so amazing to my family. Do you know what? Maybe I should have spoken more about the positive things that he's done for me. Now moving forward, like if you watch, even just watch the Summer Cyprus vlog, you'll kind of see like the warmth that Cowslick has and what makes me love him so much and makes my family and even my friends like care about him and love him. And moving forward, look, I want to show more of him and talk more about his positives as well. Look, like I said, and I'm going to repeat myself, we're going to have arguments. There's going to be times where he does wrong. There's going to be times I do wrong, but it's really about how we work through them. And I'm going to continue being honest, even if I get judged, even if like, let's say we have an argument in 4 or 5 months and I say he's done this and people are like, told you so. Another thing that really, really annoys me is when people are like, don't take advice from Anna and Mandy. They sit there giving advice and like, it just shows, look what they're doing with their lives. Look what Anna's doing with her life. She obviously isn't this like strong woman. That really annoys me because I've never sat there like, you should take advice from me. A lot of the times when we do dilemmas or like we read stories on the podcast, it's lighthearted banter. It's not like, you know, real advice that I think you should follow and take to succeed in life and in relationships. We've never had that about us. Most of the time it's just banter. We read it out and we might give like light-hearted advice. And if anything, we used to always say, don't take advice. We're good at giving bad advice. The podcast is for entertainment. Even when we come with our bad stories or good stories or when we read dilemmas, it's purely for entertainment. That's it. It's just a laugh, you know? Yeah, anyway, thank you to the people that have supported me, that listen to the podcast and, you know, trust my decision. And even if you've given your opinion, I appreciate your opinion. If you've given it in a way where you're not calling me names and being mean, I appreciate it completely, and I understand where you're coming from. I think moving forward, I don't want to even talk about the backlash anymore. I'm sure, if anything, a lot of people have said to me, you know, making this video is just fuel to the fire and you're going to get more hate. That's fine. Like I said, the first week I was really upset. But since the first week, I feel like now I actually, it doesn't bother me anymore and I'm over it. And after this video, you can hate me as much as you want. I'm the worst person, the dumbest girl, but I'm happy and that's all that matters. And I stand by my decision. Love you all. Thank you for watching. Bye.